Hey, Facebook fam, and for everybody watching on the replay on YouTube, happy Easter to you and yours. Come on in, get settled, go ahead and like and share and invite somebody else to come and self-care with us this evening. I'm just taking a minute, to share it on my other page and to grab something that I want to share with y'all tonight. But as always, don't forget to leave me a message or a comment or interact to let me know that you're here and watching, so I can put your name into our prize pack drawing. We just gave away that beautiful shower curtain from Pardon My Fro. I haven't decided what the prize is going to be for this month yet, but I will pick out something great. So yeah. Other announcements, don't forget, you only have a few days left if you want to come and join us for this year's mental health retreat. That is May 14th through 18th. In Davenport. It's on the other side of Disney. And we are going to have an amazing time. We have a wonderful workshop by my amazing colleague, Shatira. She's coming to talk to us about trauma-induced resiliency in Black women. Hey, Nikki. We're going to have, because this year's theme is Discovering Me. So we're going to talk about who you are, how you became that person, and figure out, are you living out the life that you're supposed to, or the life that circumstances, obligations, situations have caused you to become, and how to rectify that in discovering who you are, who you're supposed to be, and whether or not you're walking in that. So it's gonna be good. We're gonna be doing some digging, some soul searching, some good mental health and emotional work. Yeah. So that is again May 14th through 18th. If you want to come and join us for that, I do have a few spots left. You can go over to my website at cjaquise.com and register there. The remaining spots are, I'm gonna tell you now, they are shared bunk bed rooms. I believe they are twin over full. So I'm just gonna put the names on the door. Whoever get which bed, that's between y'all. So I have some spots left for that. That includes all of your snacks, meals for Friday and Saturday, drinks, treats, all the good stuff. Thursday night and Sunday meals are on your own. But hey, boo, it's going to be great. We got some amazing food coming from Classy Claus, and some other good stuff and treats and all the goodies. You get a swag bag, so you're going to leave with a few things too. Other announcements. June. Let me get my planner because I don't want to tell y'all the wrong date. If you missed Preventing Burnout Behind the Sacred Desk, I am doing it again. I'm going to offer it every quarter. And again, this workshop is completely free. It is for pastors, ministry leaders, anybody that's serving in a leadership position in ministry. It's not just for ministry, because I had people that came to apply the things for their business, their home life, whatever you need to apply it to. But it's really about preventing burnout, establishing routines and rhythms of rest and self-care. So if this sounds like something you need, I'm offering it again in June, here in person on June 13th. If we have people who want to do it abroad or virtually, I'll also do it on June 20th. Right now, the sign up is available for the in-person date on the website. And again, all you have to do is register. It's completely free. I believe there are 10 spots open for that. So if you know a pastor, ministry leader, anybody that could use that workshop, encourage them to come. If you came, tell the people what you gained from it or how you benefited, and leave a review on this page for me, please. Thank you. Then, I'm skipping. May 30th, I will be in Louisville for the mental health tour, the first stop of the mental health tour. And I did post a flyer for that with the date, save the date, with the name of the church and the date, because I kept forgetting the name of it. Well, I thought I posted it. Maybe I didn't. Oh, maybe I didn't. Let me get it for you, because I thought I did. I need to go back and redo that. So it is going to be May 30th at Historic Calvary Missionary Baptist Church in Louisville. We'll be there. I don't know the exact time yet, but we'll be there most of the day. We're doing a workshop. Well, not a workshop, a mental health day. Just put it that way. The first stop of the tour, we're going to kind of dig into what is mental health to kind of give an overview. And then we're going to have breakout sessions for women, men, and then children and teens. And then we're going to come back and do a panel to discuss what the steps to getting help looks like, how to navigate that. And we're also going to have clinicians on site. So if you're searching for someone, if you need to talk to someone, you can meet with somebody right there on the spot and possibly get an appointment scheduled or at least a consultation to see if they're a good fit for you. So that tour is also going to be traveling. Louisville is just the first stop. So if that sounds like something, hey boo, something that you need in your city, in your church, in your group, whatever, we'll come. You can send me a message and get the conversation started about what that would look like and what it would take to get us to you. So, that is all of my personal announcements. Going on May 15th, 7 p.m. is our church anniversary for Fire to the Nations. That is going to, I don't have the address, but I'll post it. That is going to be our 7-year church anniversary. So if you're in the area, come out, join, celebrate with us. We also have a men's conference coming up in June. I believe that is June 26th. I put the announcements in my phone, but I'm on my phone, so I can't pull them up. But I'll confirm all the dates with y'all for later. So if you want to, if you're local in the area, come out for that. I don't know if they're going to be streaming that, but I heard the speaker that's coming is phenomenal, as well as the speaker that's coming for anniversary. Anniversary is Prophetess C. So she'll be here, and I can't remember the gentleman who's coming for the men's conference. But again, I'll share those flyers with you guys so that if you're in the area, you can come. If it's streaming, you can watch on live. Either way, get in where you fit in. All right, I think that's all the announcements for now, other than the fact that if you're in the area, if you're anywhere in the state of Florida and looking for a therapist, I have spots available. I am taking new clients. So if you need some help managing your mental health with self-care, any of those things, I'm available. I am also going to be taking a couple of coaching mentees. So if you need help, not therapeutically, but with accomplishing your goals, with establishing order and rhythm, if you're in a transitional period in your life, trying to just kind of push through to the next level, and that sounds like something that you need or that you're interested in, please inbox me. I'm gonna have to get my current mentee to come on here and talk to y'all and tell you what the experience has been like, because he was supposed to write a review for me. I'm gonna get on him tomorrow. But I'm branching out into doing some more things business-wise and to fully utilize all of my gifts and everything that God put on the inside of me. So that is coming. Those doors are opening up as well. And I'm not going to do a whole bunch because that is intensive. I want to be available to my coaching and mentee clients so that they have access to me so we can, meet regularly, be on top of their goals, on all their things. So I'll give you a little snippet of kind of what that looks like. My current mentee, I'm helping him with his business, educational, and nonprofit goals. He just went back to school to pursue a degree for mental health. He's writing a book. He's starting a nonprofit and a business. So I'm helping him organize all of those things, how to manage and delegate his tasks, setting his goals and holding him accountable for those things, checking in with him regularly to make sure that he is staying on top of his goals, but also giving him feedback, giving him encouragement, giving him tools, resources, things to help him be more efficient in those, and helping him with the components of his nonprofit, how to get them working for him while he's not necessarily physically present as much as he would like to be because of school, strategizing, coming up with tasks, all of the things that need to be delegated and pushed out to other people so that he can accomplish those goals while pursuing his education, finishing his book, and coming on the mental health tour. So that's kind of what it looks like for him. And we meet every 2 weeks. So usually for about an hour, sometimes longer, just kind of depending on the needs that come up in that meeting. But every coaching program will look a little different depending on the needs of that person. So again, if that fits something that you need, those services are available. All right, so let's get into tonight's topic. I had a special request to talk about boundaries with friends. So I want to give you a quick little blurb, and I found this graphic from LisaRomano.com. I love it. I share it with all my clients, and sometimes tell them, put this as your screensaver so you have it as a reminder. So it says, what boundaries sound like, and all these are healthy. Okay. It's not my responsibility to make sure others are responsible. It's not my job to rescue people from their drama. It's okay if others get angry. It's okay to say no without explanation. I added that part in. It's not my job to think, feel, or live for others. And I'm going to run that back. It's not my job to think, feel, or live for others. You got to live your life for you. Okay? I have the right to feel my feelings no matter what anyone else feels about my feelings. Your feelings are valid. No one has to agree with me. No one has a right to verbally abuse me, and that includes family, friends, partners, and co-workers. And I'm going to throw this in, ministry leaders. It's not okay to enmesh with my thoughts, emotions, or other people. And if you don't know what enmesh means, that means to be too tangled up, too connected. Like you can't get out of other people's business and they can't get out of yours is the easiest way to explain it. It's okay to spend time alone without explaining myself. I do not need permission to be who I am, think what I think, nor to honor me. And that's especially big for parents because a lot of times they don't honor themselves. They don't give themselves nice things or have things that's reserved just for them because they feel like they got to give everything to their kids. They got to do everything for their kids. Yes, you're supposed to take care of your kids, but that doesn't mean you neglect yourself. Because if you're not in a good place for you, you can't give them the best of you. Okay? She didn't say all that, I did. Other people have every right to not like me or disagree with me. And I'm going to throw this in. Just because somebody disagrees with you or an idea or something you said does not necessarily mean they dislike you. They may have just disliked the idea or the thought, and that's okay. Other people have every right to not like me or disagree with me, but they do not have the right to disrespect me. I have a right to end draining conversations and relationships. I'm going to run it back. I have a right to end draining conversations and relationships. And lastly, I know I am enough. And if y'all want this, I can put it in the folder for Self-Care Sundays, and y'all can go grab it. It might already be in there. I don't know. But I'll check when we're done. But I wanted to share that because a lot of times people have no idea where to start when it comes to boundaries. They have no idea what that looks like other than just saying no. Yes, saying no is a boundary, but boundaries include a lot of things. They include your personal space. They include your finances, your thoughts and ideas, your emotions, your sexual boundaries. All of those things, go into your boundaries. Now, some of those categories don't or shouldn't apply to friends, but everybody's definition of friend is different. So I want to just kind of talk about some of the things. With every person, I don't care who it is, you should have some boundaries. Boundaries set limitations of this is how far you can go and this is how far I'm going to go. I'm going to let you in this much and I'm going to keep you out that much. I'm going to let you have access to this, but not that. I'm going to let you in here, but not here, because everything is not for you. Everything is not your business. Everything doesn't pertain to you. And we've talked a lot about boundaries with family and how difficult that can be sometimes. But tonight I want to focus on friends. And sometimes the most porous boundaries are with your friends. And porous means you overshare. They're too loose, that you don't have firm, structured boundaries in place. You tell too much of your business. You allow them access to too much personal stuff. You overshare. You telling them all your business about your relationship, your money, your everything. You're asking them questions about all their business, all their stuff. You always borrowing something, borrowing money, borrowing clothes. Can I borrow your car? Can I borrow those shoes? Different things. You always at their house, just showing up without asking, eating up stuff in the refrigerator, in the cabinets. Now, if you guys have established that that's okay and that's how y'all roll, cool. But even within that, there should be some limitations. There should be a certain level of respect and care given to when too much is enough. Okay? So, think about personal space. Everybody's preferences for personal space is different. Some of that is cultural. Some of it is just you as a person. And I was talking to my niece earlier, and we were talking about different things. And I was telling her I can't stand to feel people breathing on me because it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like, that means if I can feel you breathing on me and you're not a baby, that means you're too close. That means you're way too far into my personal space. Now, it's different, like if I'm giving you a hug or something and I happen to feel breath on my cheek or neck or whatever. But if you just all up on me like this and I can feel you breathe, back up. Back up. When I was doing therapy with the kids, we would read this story called Harrison P. Spader, Space Invader. And it's a little hippo that was all up in everybody's personal space. See that arm length? That's your bubble spinning around you. If people are too inside that arm length, they in your personal space. Unless it's your spouse or partner or children, strange folks shouldn't be in your personal space like that. Now, like I said, some things are cultural. Some cultures are more up close and personal and get a little more touchy-feely. Whew. that hurt. Get a little more touchy-feely and that kind of thing. So if you have friends, or if you are from a culture that is a little more touchy-feely and close proximity, you may need to have conversations with your friends about that to let them know, listen, I ain't trying to be fresh. I ain't trying to push up on you. We just don't mind being close. We don't. And I say that because you never know what a person's experience is with trauma. Touch can be very triggering. Being in close proximity can be very triggering for some people. Even though you're not doing it intentionally, sometimes that makes people uncomfortable. Hey, happy Easter. But sometimes that makes people very uncomfortable. And so they can get standoffish or, give pushback or just back up completely. Because they don't want to hurt people's feelings or say, listen, you too close, you making me feel weird. But just be mindful of those things. Be mindful, everybody's not a hugger. Everybody's not a throw your arm around me, smack me on the butt kind of friend. Some people are. Other people are not. Listen, I'm not one of those friends. Don't smack me on my butt. Don't be touching all on me like, I'm not that friend. Like, it's one thing we elbow each other, we punch each other in the arm or tap, to get your attention, something like that. Cool. But all them that be dancing and grinding on each other, no, I'm not that friend. Hey, girl, hey. I saw you double dutching, girl. You was getting it. But, you got to be mindful of those things, even with friends, because you don't know what their level of comfort is. Some of that you can fill out as that friendship develops and grows, but it's always okay to ask, is this too close? Are you comfortable? Or if you see those nonverbal cues that a person is uncomfortable, back up a little bit, back up, just give them a little space. Hey, girl, I'm going to call you later. But the other part of that is sometimes people misinterpret your closeness or your playful, friendly touching for sexual advances or to mean more than just friendly banter. So you got to be careful with those things as well. Athletes smack each other on the butt when they on the court or on the field or whatever, like, good game, whatever. So again, be mindful of the situation and the nature of the relationship. Okay. So let's slide on over a little bit to not space. I can't think of my word. Material. There we go. I'm tired, y'all. Material boundaries. This is like folks that want to borrow stuff all the time. People that go through your things that's a personal space boundary. I remember when I was younger, one of my friends was at my house and went through all my drawers, all my clothes. When I tell you I was livid, don't go through my stuff. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because it's going to cause a problem. If I didn't give you permission to go in my drawers or my closet or whatever, don't do that. I lived in an apartment one time and the manager had people come and do inspections. And the person that did the inspection was in my closets, in my drawers. I filed a grievance and I had several words for that manager because that was inappropriate. You violated my personal space. You're not even allowed to be in my personal things during an inspection. You're supposed to be inspecting the appliances to make sure that I haven't damaged the walls, the floors, the plumbing, those kinds of things. That inspection shouldn't say nothing about how my drawers and closets are organized. Personal space boundaries. So, same thing applies with friends. Don't just go to your friend's house and start going through their stuff, picking up stuff, touching stuff, asking to borrow stuff just because that's your friend. Be respectful of people's things, people's space. Don't just go to their house and put your feet all up on their furniture and stuff like that because that's what you do at home. That may not be how they roll in their house. Ask, is it okay if I put my feet up here? Is it okay if I whatever? Because that's their space, their materials, their things. And don't be offended if their boundaries and level of comfort is different than yours. Every household, every person is a little different. Borrowing and lending can cause a lot of rifts in friendships, whether it's clothes, objects, items, money, vehicles, whatever it is. My uncle told me a long time ago, if you don't have it to give away, don't lend it. And I have stuck with that since he told me. Because one, there's no guarantee that it's going to come back. Two, there's no guarantee that it's going to come back the way it left. And three, there's no guarantee that you're going to get it back at the time when they say you was going to get it back. Because life happens, things happen, circumstances come up. So if I don't have it to give away, I'm not going to lend it. It's just that simple. Every now and then I make exceptions, but every time I do, I get burnt, so I had to stop doing that. But be mindful of your capacity to lend, whether it's clothes, money, your car, shoes, whatever. If you don't like to lend out your stuff, don't. I'm a stickler about my books. I don't like to loan out my books. Because if you know me, you know I'm a bookworm. I'm a nerd. And people don't take care of your things the way you do. I lent a book to somebody one time. I ain't going to call their name because I know they be watching. I lent a book to somebody one time. And when they gave it back, I was just like, keep it. I'll buy another one because it was so raggedy. I hadn't even read the book. But it was so raggedy when I got it back. The pages was all bent up, marked up. The spine was tore up. I was like, this how you treat other people's stuff? I don't play about my books. So I stopped lending them out. I'd rather just buy you your own than let you borrow mine. Because that's how serious I am about my books. I have a library app on my phone that catalogs my books. Let me show y'all. Hold on. That was definitely not books. Sorry, I dropped the phone. But those are some of my books. And I got more over here on this shelf. And a whole nother set in the other room. So I don't play by my books. I'm still building my library. And I have books in my office at work that are professional books, therapy books, those kinds of things. And I don't lend them out. Because sometimes they don't come back. And books are not cheap. So, if I have an ebook, I'll send you a copy of it. I'll tell you where to go get it for cheap or free or whatever. Or something, like I said, sometimes I'll just buy you one. Here you go. Because that's the boundary that I set. Because I will be very upset with you about some books. Our friendship might end over some books. So it's best that I just don't loan those out. Excuse me, because I know me. But again, you know, your material and physical space boundaries are important. Intellectual boundaries. Be around people who respect your thoughts and ideas. And sometimes friends joke. They like to play and say, oh, you stupid, you dumb. Sometimes that's not really a joke. That's how they really feel. So be mindful of those things. Be vigilant and discerning about the people that you surround yourself with. Are these people who truly celebrate you and your thoughts and ideas and feelings and how the things that are important to you? Right now, politics is a big one. I've seen friendships, relationships, whole households be divided over political views. You don't have to agree with politics, but you do need to be respectful. I have friends who have very different political views than I do. And that's okay. That's what they feel. That's what they believe. That's okay. Now, there are certain things that we probably not going to continue to be able to be friends if you agree with that and come into alignment with that. But Democrat versus Republican, that kind of thing, conservative versus liberal, some of those things don't bother me so much. You have a right to believe and feel differently. We just have to be respectful of those things if we're going to be friends. Okay? So that's boundaries. That's included in your intellectual boundaries. Having appropriate discussions is also part of that intellectual boundaries. So, sometimes when people change statuses and positions in your life, they don't realize that things that were once appropriate are no longer appropriate, and you have to remind them, hey, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to discuss that. That's not for you. I'm not going to have that conversation with you. And it's okay to let somebody know that. That topic is off limits. I don't discuss that with you. That's none of your business. And tell them real quick, you meddling. I will in a minute. That ain't your business. Thank you. Don't worry about it. You're the gatekeeper. When it comes to boundaries, that's the biggest thing to remember, whether it's friends, co-workers, family, whomever. You are the gatekeeper. You control the access to whatever area it is, how much access, how often, and how deep that access goes. So if you want to keep it surface level, keep it surface level. If it's somebody that you trust and you're willing to open up and be vulnerable with, do that. But know who you're sharing with and how much. Don't overshare. Set limits to what you share with friends, because sometimes they can turn on you. The friendship can end and that person know all your deep, dark secrets and go running their mouth, and now all your business is in the streets. Everything that you shared in confidence is no longer a secret, is no longer held, because now they mad, they in their feelings, so they want to go run and tell everything. You have to be careful about who you give access to and what you allow them to know and how much. Even, I'm going to bring it over to spiritually, even when giving your testimony and sharing what the Lord has done for you, you don't have to give every deep, dark, gritty detail. You can tell what the Lord has done for you and still have a decorum of privacy and share things on a need-to-know basis. Because everybody that wants to hear your testimony ain't hearing it because they're trying to overcome. Some people I want to hear it because they messy and they love to gossip and go run tell your business and talk about you behind your back. So even when you're sharing that, be mindful of how you share and what you share. One of my friends gave her testimony at church, and the pastor was like, I want to read it before you do. She said, you can't say that. You can't say that in the pulpit. No, don't say that. And the pastor had to give her some boundaries to say, reel it in. You don't need to share all of these things to tell the gist of what God has done. You can tell it without giving all the dirt, the grit, because again, some people ain't trying to hear how you overcame. They just trying to hear what you was in. So they can go tell, didn't you know so-and-so did this and such did that, when they got a whole parade of skeletons in their closet. Just ain't nobody open the door to let them out. Okay? And lastly, I'm going to talk about time boundaries. I'm not going, no, because I am going to touch on that. I wasn't going to talk about sexual boundaries, but I am. Time boundaries. This is for those people who feel like they're entitled to your time. Sometimes friends just assume that you got all the time in the world to give them, to give to their stuff, their emergencies, their whatever they got going on, their drama. They just assume that you're available, that you're willing to listen, to be present, to be pulled into it. Sometimes you got to stop that. Put that stop sign up. No, I can't right now. I don't have the capacity for this. No. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a thing to say, oh, I don't want to be your friend or I'm not your friend. Sometimes you just literally don't have the time to give to whatever it is that they're asking or needing in the moment. Sometimes you don't have the mental capacity or the time for that, or you only have this much time to give to it. Okay, I got 15 minutes, go. Say whatever it is, tell me quickly whatever it is that's the issue, or how I can help, or what you need. And it's okay to say no when they're requesting your time for something. If they're asking you to help, no, I can't do that. I'm not gonna be able. No, I don't want to. I had a friend ask me not too long ago if I could keep her grandchildren while she took care of something back at home. No, I can't. She was like, I knew you was gonna say no. She said, I thought you was gonna say H no. I said, no, one, I have an event at that time, so I literally won't be free. I said, and even if I was, no, I don't want to. So again, it's okay to say no, because my time was elsewhere, and the time that I did have free, I didn't want to spend it babysitting, because my weekends are truly my time to relax, to refresh, to give my mind a break, because I spend 7-8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, in therapy, in coaching, in meetings, in training, in developing tools and things, utilizing my brain power all week long, listening intently at work, not to mention dealing with my own personal stuff, and then trying to be a good friend and trying to be a good girlfriend and all of the things. So I have limited time to give to certain things, and I'm going to pick and choose and prioritize what I give that time to. And sometimes my friend's drama is not at the top of my list of priorities. Sometimes solving their problem is not at the top of my list of priorities. They got to figure it out on their own that time. They got to call a different friend. They got to do something else because I'm not available. And that's okay. I know sometimes we don't want to feel like we're letting people down, or we don't want to feel like we're not there for people, but we all only have a limited amount of time in each day. And by the time you factor in work, household responsibilities, your personal life, and all of the things that you have to do within a day, and trying to get some sleep, you got a smidge of time left. You got to teach and you got to delegate and prioritize what you do with that teach. You know, if you give it all away, what do you have left for you? How do you relax? How do you take care of yourself if you've given all your time to everybody else? And some days that's me. Not always by choice, but sometimes duty calls in the form of ministry after I've worked all day, and I have to put whatever my plans were on pause to step into that moment of ministry, and that's okay. But I also recognize when I don't have the capacity, because I'm exhausted, because I'm at my people limit, because I'm not there present mentally, and I let that be known. Because if it's not an emergency, I would say, listen, I would really love to hear all about that or talk to you about that, but I don't have the capacity right now. Can I give you a call back tomorrow? Or give me a couple hours and I can call you back. I need to take a nap, or I'm busy right now. Can I give you a call back? And most of the time the answer is sure. Because one, I've made it known that this is where I am. This is what my capacity is right now. And if you want me to be helpful and present and alert, let me have this moment to go recharge. And then I can come back and be helpful and attentive and present. So again, that's another boundary that I've set for myself with my friends. I'm not going to get into relationship boundaries because that's a whole nother night by itself. But keep folks out your business is the simplest way to put it. It's you and that other person in the relationship. If you need help, go seek some professional counseling so that everybody around you can stay neutral. Because sometimes when you disagree, the folks that have heard the disagreement get upset. They remain upset after y'all done made up. So now they looking at the other person sideways and y'all good. So keep folks out your business. There's a difference in being private and secret. Keep some things private. Keep some things for you and that person. Share what you want to share. Not everything is for everybody. Okay? So let's rewind for a second because I forgot to talk about sexual boundaries. These kind of go hand in hand with physical boundaries because, of course, there's touching there, but it also includes emotional and intellectual because all of those are aspects of sexuality. So that means you need to be having, if your definition of friend includes sexual activity, you definitely need to be having open and honest communication about what is what and who is who and what the expectations and limits are. Because once you cross that line in a friendship, it ain't no turning back. It ain't no, we just friends again. It's very, very difficult to do that. But discussing limitations, honoring people's limits and boundaries, honoring the things that they say no to or that they're not comfortable with, stopping if somebody says no, even if they have previously said yes and they change their mind and say no, wait, you pump them brakes, you stop. Consent is necessary and required. Otherwise, it is sexual assault. Okay? Not pressuring people into sexual activity, not making inappropriate sexual comments and jokes. All about respecting those boundaries. And sometimes, especially opposite sex friendships, there's that very thin line where people like to tease and joke and make sexual comments. Be mindful of that. If those things make you uncomfortable, speak up and say so. Put an end to it immediately. I have a couple of friends who like to do that, and they know I don't play those games at all. I will shut it down real quick, especially if you married, because I will call, text, email, inbox, screenshot your wife or husband. I don't play that. I'm very respectful of people's marital relationships in general, because I want people to be respectful of mine. And if we are friends, we're not going to be having those kind of conversations at all. Don't even come at me in a sexual way if we friends. If we're not in a relationship, don't flirt with me. Wrap it up. Hang it up. If I have not expressed interest in you, if you're not my man, don't even flirt with me. Leave me alone. Because I might hurt your feelings with my response. Because I'm going to shut that down every time and I'll be like, nope. Don't even come at me like that. We friends. We don't talk that way. We don't say those things to or about each other. But the biggest thing is being consistent in those boundaries with your friends. Establishing them and letting them know up front what your boundaries are, and also hearing and respecting theirs. Because theirs are just as valid as and important as yours are. You want yours to be honored, theirs need to be honored as well. I remember when I was in college, I had a guy friend, that's my homie, like, he knows I hate feet. Hate them. Don't put your feet on me, don't touch my feet, none of that. What he do all the time? Put his toes on me. And thought it was hilarious. When I tell you, I used to pick up the closest thing to me and hit him, punch him with, get your feet off of me, get your toes off of me. And it wasn't even bare toes. Like, he would have on clean socks or whatever and just be like, boop, like touch his feet on my leg or arm and just crack up. And I wanted to punch him every time. Don't do that. Don't do your friends like that. That ain't funny. That stuff is not funny. Keep your toes to yourself. Unless I touch your toes, which is very, very rare. Or if I give you permission to put your toes on me, which is even more rare. You know, babies I don't care about. You know, they the exception. Baby toes is fine. Little toddler toes is okay. But grown people, keep your toes to yourself. That's the boundary. I don't care how good of friends we are. We could be besties, we could be bros. Listen, I got friends that I've had since kindergarten. Don't put your toes on me. Because they already know if you do go on and square up, we finna fight. It's going down. Keep your toes to yourself. But you gotta have those boundaries with your friends. And I'll say this before I go. Know which friends to have which boundaries with. Know which friends you can discuss which things with. I have certain friends that I can talk to about any and everything. No judgment, no hesitation. They ain't gonna blink up at an eye. Everything is open topic for conversation. I have other friends who are very conservative, and I know there's only limited topics that I can discuss with them, that I feel comfortable discussing with them and that I would share with them. There's other friends that I can talk to about anything of a more liberal nature because they have a very wide worldview and lots of experience outside of just teeny tiny U.S. bubble. So, you know which friends you can discuss and share which things with. Know which friends might judge you a little bit if you say you like a couple things and they were like, what? Oh, so you don't set yourself up for failure. Know which friends are healed so you know who to talk to about relationship stuff, because you don't want to go talk to the friend that's still hurting and broken and bitter, because they're going to give you bad advice. So think about those things as you're setting your boundaries and sharing and going through those kinds of checks and balances about your boundaries with friends. Everybody should have some things that they don't share with anyone. Some things that you just gonna take to the grave because don't nobody need to know. That the archangels got to pull it out of you. All right. So that's all I got for tonight. I hope that was helpful. Again, if you're watching on the replay, leave me a comment. Let me know if you have a topic that you want to discuss or need more info about that's related to self-care, mental health, any of those things. Shoot me a message, drop it in the comments. I'd be more than happy to give you nuggets and talk about it, to explain whatever I can do to help. But don't forget what those boundaries sound like. Okay? And if you missed it, rewind back to the top so you can hear them. And I'm going to drop that file in the folder. The link is on the page. So if you need it, you can go grab it. All right? Happy Easter. Happy Resurrection Sunday. Have an amazing evening and make time for self-care this week. I love y'all.